Hello, fellow Sudokans, and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian Sudoku puzzle for Monday, the 25th of October 2021. The working week is about to begin. It's extremely early here in Bangkok. It's only just getting light. The Sudoku was only just printed a moment ago, so nobody's going to beat me to it. Monday, though, is always easy day, so if you're a beginner, welcome. And if you're a person that only likes to play the easy level puzzles because they find the other ones difficult, welcome. And I hope you're going to have a great week. Try to be positive. Don't think, oh no, it's Monday, as we often do. I know I'm prone to that myself sometimes. Before we get on to the Sudoku puzzle, shall we talk about anything in the news? I see those of us who have lived long enough have managed to see politics change and understand that politics is a constantly changing and evolving thing, sometimes improving, sometimes going backwards, often annoyingly the way that people forget bad things. Extreme right-wing politics is something I abhor, I detest. We seem to be having a rather resurgence of such ideas in the unlikeliest of places because, after World War II, there were authority, or rather, since I was young, let's say in the 70s or something, 30 years after the war, the the authoritarian places were kind of where I live now, Southeast Asian countries and South American countries, and of course there was the Soviet bloc, which was rather a different situation. But anyway, those were the authoritarian countries, and the South American and occasional places in Africa were very right wing. And now we have European countries. The US, of course, is in the most danger right now of losing its democracy. European countries such as Hungary and Turkey, etc., are in terrible disarray. Britain itself is, with its little England mentality that it seems to have at the moment, is also, going in the wrong direction, I think. So it's a shame, but you notice these ebbs and flows when you've lived long enough. And I see that in Turkey, the President Erdogan has decided to kick out ambassadors from the US, Canada, Germany, France, the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Norway, and New Zealand because they called for speedy trial of someone who has been held in detention for 4 years. Pre-trial detention. I mean, can you imagine being held in prison for 4 years before your trial? But of course, on mentioning this, I have to note that Guantanamo Bay is an even worse situation where people are held without trial for many more years than 4. I'm not sure exactly how many it's been now, but 20 is it, or something like that? Something outrageous. So Americans are hardly ones who can easily be blameless in such kind of matters. Anyway, good luck to peace-loving people and non-hate people who don't hate, don't stem their politics from hate. That's the worst thing about right-wing politics. Okay, let's get on with today's Sudoku puzzle. We have rows across, which contain 9 squares. We have columns down, which contain 9 squares. This column has a lot of numbers already, you can see. And then we have these blocks, which also contain 9 squares. And what we do is we fit numbers 1 to 9 in there. So, as I said, this column has a lot of numbers already. This column only has 2 numbers, 1 and 9. So all the other numbers between 2 and 9, we have to fit into these squares. So, of course, each number can appear only once. Okay, and that's the rules. That's the rule, really, a single rule of Sudoku. It's a kind of game of 9s. Number can appear once only in its row, column, or block, and that's all you need to know. So we have to consider, how do we go about placing these numbers? Well, the idea that a number can appear once only is the way that we find them. For example, this 4 means that this square, and this square can't be a 4. We know that because there's already a 4 in this row and there are only 9 squares, so to fit the numbers 1 to 9 in, we would have to, a number can appear once only, so these 3 squares cannot be 4. This 4 means that these 2 squares can't be 4. In fact, this one is not 4 because of this and this, but that's irrelevant. So a blocking pattern down here and a blocking pattern across here means that there is just 1 square left. Now, if that's the case, if you eliminate all other squares and leave yourself with 1 square, you know that that must be the number that you are looking at. It can't be anything else. No need to worry about anything else. Just put the number in immediately. Now, this 4 blocks up this column, so this square and this square can't be 4. And then we have a 4 over here that says this square can't be 4, right? So not this, not these two, not this one because of this. And so 4 has to go there. Okay, I hope you're understanding the rules. It's not that difficult, really. This 9 means that 9 can't appear in these 3 squares. This 9 means that 9 can't appear in these 3 squares. And this 9 means that square is out. So 9 will have to be here. This 9 blocks up this column, so no 9s anywhere, and especially up here. And this 9 stops these 2 squares. So 9 must be in this square because that's the only square that is not seen by either this 9 or this 9. Well, I used the verb seen there, by the way, and that is a verb that Sudoku players often like to use. This 6 blocks all the way down here, so no 6 in these 3 squares. This 6 blocks this square because it's in this column. And this 6 in this row stops anything in this row. So we've got a blocking pattern down here, and across here. That will give us a 6 to place there. Okay? Now, have a look at these 4s and consider this 4 as well. And what do you see? 4 and 4 and a 4 here. Think about it. Let's say now 4 blocking up here, 4 blocking up here, and 4 blocking across here. Yep, you got it. It's a 4 in that square there. Sometimes we can think a little bit further ahead. If you want to try that, I'll give you an example. Okay, we see that 2 blocks this square here, so there are in fact 2 squares left, right? Not 1 square, so we can't put the 2 in yet. We have to wait on that, but we do know something about the 2 in this block. We know that it's in this middle column. You know, if it's a column, right? We know that the 2 must appear here, either here or here, because it can't come here. So even though we haven't placed this 2 yet, we do know that it won't reappear in any of these squares up here. It can't, because it has to come either here or here. If it comes here, it blocks up here. If it comes here, it blocks up here. Same thing. So 2 blocking up here and this 2 blocking up here means there's only 1 square left. So the 2 has to appear there like that. Okay. This 8 blocks right across this row here, which will give us an 8 here. Now there's only 1 number missing from this column. Now if you see that, that's the next thing you should look for, because if there's only 1 number missing, you can definitely get it. So it's 1, 2, do we have a 3 anyway? No, we don't. You want to check everything else, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's definitely a 3. You can check, you know, by counting through the other numbers to make sure that you haven't made a mistake, if you like. That's often a good idea when you begin learning. 6 blocks across here like this, 6 blocks across here like this. So that will give us a 6 in that square there. Eight blocks down here, so that will give us an 8 in that square there. 5 blocks across here, so this can't be 5, so 5 is in here. And now we see a block with 1 square missing, so that's the next thing we look for, because we know we can find it. 1, is there a 2 anywhere here? No, there isn't. Do you want to check everything else? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we know it's a 2, so we can place the 2 there. Now, if you remember, we knew that this 2 blocked this square, and now we know that this 2 blocks this square. So now, in fact, we can place it we can place the 2 in this block there. We know it goes there now because now that we filled in this one, it can no longer be here. Earlier on we had 2 possibilities, now we only have 1. This 7 stops this from being a 7 here, and we still need a 7 in this block. So 7 goes here, and now we've got 1 number missing. 1, 2, there's no 3, is there? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that's a 3. And now 3 is the only number missing from here. Or you could say 3 blocks across here, 3 blocks across here. 1, 2, no 3. So there are several ways to find this number, and this is often true. If you're a learner, you'll find there's often more than one way, sometimes 3 ways to find exactly the same number. This 3 blocks up here now, so no 3 in this column, and this 3 blocks across this row, so blocked and blocked. That's going to give us a 3 there. And now do what you just did about 3's blocking along, 3 blocking down this column here, 3 blocking down this column here. Do you see? 3 has to go there. What? Okay, so there are 2 empty squares here. What are they? Let's do it like this. What are the missing numbers? Do we have a 1? No. 2, 3, 4. Do we have a 5? No. So we know numbers missing. The missing numbers are 1 and 5. 6, 7, 8, 9 we've got. So 1 and 5 are missing, and we immediately see an intersecting 1 here, knowing that this can't be 1. So we can fill in the 1 here, and we can then put in the 5 because we already calculated which 2 numbers were missing. Okay. This 5 blocks across here. Use the 5 that we just placed because that will help us. 5 blocking across here, 5 blocking across here, and 5 blocking down here. That will put a 5 into this square here. I'm going to tell you that this square is 1, and I'm going to ask you to think about why. This square is 1, this one here is 1, and I want you to think about why. And the key things to notice here are this one and this one here. Okay, have you got it yet? Use your eyes to kind of go up and down the columns. Okay, so look, this one definitely stops these 2 squares, right? You agree? So it can't be here or here. That leaves us with 2 places left. Now how do I know it's in here? Well, because look, this one here blocks right up there. Okay, so then the 1 will have to appear in one of these 2 squares, won't it? If it blocks up here. So if 1 is in only one of these 2 squares, well, it can't come here. This one is going to block it there. So that's how I knew that that square has to be a 1. I still don't know which square the 1 comes in here. It hasn't helped me yet, but I don't need to. I'll do that later. Sometimes you have to come back to these things at a later time, right? Shall I tell you that this square is a 1 and ask you to consider the same kind of thing that you just did, all right? This square here is a 1. Think about why. This square is a 1. Okay, now here are the interesting numbers. This one up here, this one here, okay, got it? All right, so let's see. First of all, 1 blocks down here. So this square or this square can't be 1. 1 blocks across here, so that leaves us with 2 possibilities, right? So block down here, blocks across here. But look, if you can extend this one down here, you'll see that 1 must appear here. In fact, it's blocked again here. 1 is either in this square or this square, which means it can't come up here. So blocked down here, blocked across here, and blocked up here. So that's how we know that that square is a 1. Now there's only 1 number missing down here. It's 2. When you count through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Right, let's see what's missing now. By the way, when you do play Sudoku, sometimes you find you get stuck in one area, kind of focusing in one area for too long. That's not a good idea. You need to shift and move to parts of the board that you haven't looked at for a while. You might find something else. Okay, so I see this 8 blocks up here, 8 blocks across here, 8 blocks across here. So 8, we are sure, goes in that square there. Let's investigate what 2 numbers are missing here, shall we? 1, 2. Is there a 3? No. 4, 5. Is there a 6? No, there isn't. So that's it. 7, 8, 9. So 3 and 6 must be in these 2 squares here, because that's all we need to complete this column. But look, we see an intersecting 3. So we know 3 can't go here. 3 must be there. 6 must be there. Now, 5, 7, and 9 are the missing numbers here now. Now, 7 blocks this square, 7 blocks this square, so 7 has to go there. We know that 5 and 9 are up here, but we don't know where they go yet, so we leave that. We just forget about it and we go somewhere else. Now, I know that we can find this number here. I'm certain that we can find this the missing number here. And the reason I know that is because there are 2 squares missing here, 2 empty squares here. Now, even if I can't place them, I at least know what they are. And the third number, the missing number from the block, must go here. So let's see. 1. Do we have a 2? No, we don't. 3. Do we have a 4? No, we don't. So we know that 2 and 4 are in here. Actually, we can't place them, but it doesn't matter. We know that 2 and 4 are in these squares. So now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any 5? No, there's no 5. So we know that 5 has to go there. Or you could have just said 5 blocks across here. So 5 is there. As I said, there's often more than one way to solve these puzzles. 5 blocks down here, 5 blocks across here. So that will give us a 5 in that square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's no 8. 8 goes there now. 8 blocks this square, 8 blocks this square, this 8 blocks this square. 8 has to go there. This 1 blocks this square, this 1 blocks this square, so 1 is here now. The missing numbers here and here look to be 2 and 7. We have 1, there's no 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's no 7. 2 and 7. Can you see what we need to do? Right, there's an intersecting 7 here, so this can't be 7, so we know 7 is there. And 2 is there. Now there's only 1 number missing across here, and we start counting and we can't find a 1 anywhere, so we know that 1 is our missing number. Now if you remember previously I told you 1 was in one of those squares, so 1 blocking up here, 1 blocking up here, we now know 1 has to be in that square there. There's 2 blocks down here and 2 blocks across here, so that will give us a 2 to place here. Now we only have 1 missing number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no 7. There is a 7, sorry. There's an 8, but there's no 9. Sorry, I almost made a mistake there. It's a good idea to check and count and make sure, double check your workings, because it is easy to make a mistake in this game, it really is. 3 blocking down here, 3 blocking down here, 3 goes there. 7 blocks that from being a 7, and the last number that we need is for this block or for this row is a 6. It's the same number whether you count through the row or count through the block, you'll find it's the same thing. There's 1 number missing here. This is the next place that we need to check. It's going to be a 6. What are the missing numbers here? 2 and 9 are the missing numbers, I believe, so this 2 stops that from going there. So 2 goes there and 9 goes here. Now we have 1 number missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no 5 yet, so we'll place our 5 here. 1 number missing for the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 9. Okay. And what else? Well, this 2 means that that can't be a 2. We don't yet have a 2 in this block, so 2 goes there. The last number to get is a 4. 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4 yet. 4 goes here. 4 stops this from being a 4. We still need a 4 in this block and in this row, whichever way you look at it. Or you could say, you count through here, you'll find 4 is the missing number. And finally, for this block, this column and this row, the same missing number, and the missing number is 7. Okay, and that's our Sudoku. I hope you enjoyed it. If that's your first time ever, give it a go yourself. There's a link, and there's also a beginner's channel on this video channel. You'll find a list of beginner level puzzles, easy level puzzles that you can play and practice and learn more. You must practice yourself though, don't just watch the videos. Go off to the links and try them yourselves. Thank you very much for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you're a newcomer, and I hope you stick around for more Sudoku anytime. Bye bye.